Welcome back to the show, Extra Rich. What we got today? I walked out of church over comments on Charlie Kirk. Let's jump into it.
I had to walk out of church today over comments about Charlie Kirk. I'm on the verge of tears sitting in this parking lot because I'm having such a complex with my faith. Because I genuinely don't understand how Christians are pushing this man as though hate didn't come out of his mouth and heart on a consistent basis. And I'm genuinely sitting here like, if this is the God that we serve, if this is the reflection of the God we serve, do I want to be a part of it? I'm truly having a conflict with my faith because the leaders that we're supposed to be following are guiding us in this way to feel empathy and sympathy and like that this person was this great Christian and that the message that his wife gave was, it started off with like praising God. And I'm like, did we miss the chapter of hate that he endorsed, encouraged, and pushed?
Yeah, I think I missed it. I think I missed it. This whole narrative, and I've been seeing it online, that Charlie Kirk was hateful and he hated black people and yada yada yada. You know, here's the thing, and you see it all the time, unfortunately, on the internet these days. People take a clip and then run with it as if it's the gospel, and they don't listen to the whole thing in its totality. The only thing that I've ever heard from Charlie Kirk is him preach about accountability, right? And obviously his faith in Jesus Christ. So where is this hate that people are talking about? Where is it? If there is a video of Charlie Kirk genuinely hating a person or a group of people, let me know in the comments. Send me the video. And don't send me just the clip. Don't send me the 10-second clip. Send me the whole 40-minute video, because that's typically the style and the format that he uploaded in, right? He would upload entire discussions where he would debate with someone, just like when he unfortunately lost his life. The banner above his head said, "Prove me wrong." He did that all the time. So don't send me like a little 10-second clip. Send me the entire video. The entire video. Oh, man. And, you know, one of the things that people I've seen people come up with is him talking about the black pilots and him saying, if I saw a black pilot, I would question it. But if you watch the entire clip, you would hear him say, that's a horrible thing. And DEI has pushed us to this place, and it's not good, because now we're questioning whether this person got their job simply because of the color of their skin, or whether or not or if they got it because they were actually qualified. And he said that is horrible. I mean, he literally said that in the video, but people take this little tiny clip where he says, yeah, if I saw a black pilot, I would question it. And then they stop it there and they don't play the rest of it. And that's the problem with our society today. We don't listen to the full thing in its entirety. We just take a little short clip. But let's jump back in.
I don't know where to go from here. To spew hate and hide yourself behind a Bible, to me, is not something I want to be a part of. And it's not.
Accountability isn't hate. It's simply accountability. That is all.
It's not the faith I want to be a part of. So what do? I got up out of church and walked out. And I'm at a battle.
You literally got up out of church in the middle of church because your pastor said something about Charlie Kirk. and you believe that Charlie Kirk was this hateful figure. To me, it sounds like you're putting your politics over your faith. To me, it sounds like you're someone who genuinely does not read the Bible. I'm just saying, because if you actually read the Bible, you would know that, for example, in Proverbs 24:17, it says, "Do not rejoice when your enemy stumbles, and do not let your heart be happy when you see something like that," right? It literally says that in the Bible. So if you are a genuine Christian, how could you come to that conclusion where, no, yeah, I'm going to walk out and now I'm going to question my faith? To me, it sounds like you weren't actually a Christian. You were going through the motions, right? You were going to church. You were making it look good. But when it actually came down to genuinely being a Christian, it doesn't sound like that's exactly who you really were. I'm just saying, because in the Bible, it says something completely different than what you actually did. For example, Romans chapter 12, verse 14. It says, "Bless those who persecute you." That's genuinely what the Bible, this is what the Bible says. Bless those who persecute you. So if you genuinely felt like Charlie Kirk was somebody who was your enemy and who was persecuting you, you should have blessed him. Bless those who persecute you. Proverbs, do not rejoice when your enemy stumbles, and don't let your heart rejoice in it. This is in the Bible. So in my humble opinion, right, and according to the Bible, as far as I believe it reads, even if you felt like Charlie Kirk was this mean, nasty, and terrible person, you shouldn't rejoice in his passing, nor should you have stormed out of the church and were upset that your pastor had brought him up. Bless those who persecute you. Now, I don't believe that's what Charlie Kirk was doing, but if you genuinely felt that way, the Bible tells you what to do. But who am I? I'm just a guy that talks on the internet from time to time.
Within myself, sitting here, it's like, to what do I do? I don't want him to be a reflection of what I believe. And what do you do when your leaders and your pastor is saying that is the reflection? To me, I feel like I'm smart. I feel like I've worked hard to get where I get, and to push a man who thought that I didn't have the thinking capacity to get to where I am, that I stole a white person's spot. Like, to think that that's the okay thought, that me as a black person can't function in this world and be just as great as the next, that I don't deserve where I am. Is that what God thinks of me? Is that what this faith thinks of me?
First off, I doubt that's what your pastor was preaching. And second, this is just absolutely wild, man. Absolutely wild. Charlie Kirk wasn't somebody who preached hate. Charlie Kirk was somebody who preached about his faith. He talked about that profusely. He put his faith over politics, over feelings. He proclaimed his faith on a daily basis. Whenever you heard Charlie Kirk speak, you could guarantee that he was going to speak about his faith. That came first, right? First and foremost. And second, it seemed like to me, now obviously I never met Charlie Kirk. I was invited to a TPUSA event. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make that event. Kind of wish I did figure out a way to make it. But anyway, to me, it looked like he lived what the Bible says, right? It looked like he lived what the Bible said. I didn't see him out here wilding out, doing all types of crazy stuff, doing just terrible things. Nope, didn't see it. Maybe it happened, but I didn't see it, right? And you would think a big public figure like him, he wouldn't be hard to get him, catch him on camera somewhere, right? Doing something that he shouldn't have been doing if that's the life that he was living. So it seemed like he was actually living the life that he should have been living. But then also what I saw him doing was preaching accountability, not simply coddling and telling people exactly what they wanted to hear. He told folks what they needed to hear, regardless of what your background is, regardless of what your skin color was, regardless of any of that. He spoke the truth. And when he spoke the truth about DEI, it is the truth. When you have DEI rampant in companies saying, hey, we're trying to push to meet this quota because we want more people of color, well, how in the world are you going to get to that quota if you haven't gotten there before? Are you just going to force people in? So now, are you lowering the standards to get these folks in? Like, how are you exactly going to meet this quota when it's never been met before? The last time I checked, Martin Luther King said we should be judged not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. But Democrats now want to judge us by the color of our skin and hire us simply because we're black. And I don't think that should be the case. The most qualified should get the job. If that happens to be a black person, amazing. But if it happens to be somebody white, amazing. Your skin color should have nothing to do with it. But that's what DEI injected into our society. And Charlie Kirk said he didn't like that. He hated it. But the fact that he was watching companies talk about DEI and trying to meet quotas, he's like, man, now it's making me question whether this person of color, whether this black person here is here because they were skilled or whether they were here because this company was trying to meet a DEI quota. That's legit. That is legit. That ain't saying nobody black is qualified or nobody black is capable of doing this or that. That is a perfectly legit statement. Now, if Charlie Kirk came out and flat out said, hey, no black person out here could possibly do X, Y, and Z. If he came out and said that, I would be in disagreement with him and I would voice my opinion on it. But that's not what he said. That's not what he said. And the fact that you have these people twisting his words to make it sound and seem as if he said something completely different is just absolutely wild to me. Well, you can go watch the video in its entirety. You can go watch the clip. But instead, they take these little short 10-second clip of him saying, if I saw a black pilot, I would be questioning it. And then they stop it there. You can go watch the video in its entirety. And if you did, if you actually took the time to watch it, you would understand and realize that, oh, he's not who they say he is. He wasn't someone that was preaching hate. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 2, I believe. Anyway, it says, a fool takes no pleasure in understanding, only in speaking his opinions. I'm just saying. And I believe Proverbs 4, verse 7, it said, in the beginning is wisdom, but also seek understanding, right? In the beginning is wisdom, so seek wisdom, but also get understanding. And I think that is what's lost on this entire discussion here. Understanding, right? Because if you take the time to actually go and look up who Charlie Kirk was and what he actually said and watch it for yourself, and you don't listen to the hoopla on the internet, right? Or take little short 10-second clips and you watch the video in its entirety, you would actually garner a better understanding of who he was and what he preached about, what he spoke about, and you would understand that, oh, I've been lied to. But I'm going to leave y'all with that. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Peace.